Jace Denman for Flag Family Media. I'm here with MSUM Dragon football head coach Steve Laqua. Coach, you didn't get the result you wanted last weekend, but obviously comparing it to the week before, much better effort, much better consistency. You were right there, just kind of couldn't quite get the stop you needed at the end. Tell us a little bit about last weekend.
Well, I played a really good football team on homecoming. I thought the energy in the stadium was awesome. I think we had a great crowd. I think the players fed off of that. I think it was an exciting game for fans to watch and for you guys to be able to call kind of back and forth. Two teams evenly matched, kind of going at it toe-to-toe, head-to-head throughout the whole game. There were ups and downs, and I thought we played a lot better football than we had the week before, as you said. But both teams, when you're good football teams playing each other, things are going to go back and forth, and there's going to be a few plays here, a few plays there, and if you make them, you end up on top, and if you don't, you're not. And so, they made some more plays. Credit to them. They're a really good football team. We didn't quite make enough of them. We made a lot of them, but just not quite enough. And you know what? That means we just got to get back up off the mat and get ready to go at it again.
Last weekend, you had a much better, in my opinion, rushing attack last week. I mean, I know that the net, as far as what Jack did on the ground, kind of gets netted out with those sacks. But overall, I thought it was a much better effort running the ball. Was there anything done or anything you saw to kind of game plan for that, or was it just going out there and executing against a very good team?
Well, they played a defense that they hadn't showed, and so we see that a lot. A lot of weeks we'll go out there offensively and go against a defense that plays entirely different than what we've seen, and so we got definitely a different look, 3-down line, and so we felt like that was a place where the run game had to be important, had to be impactful in the game, and so we were able to get it going. I thought those guys up front, the offensive line, did a great job. Finn did a really good job running the football. It's also really important to us after Jack came out of the game banged up a little bit, that we had to try and find a way to move the pocket, make sure that we wasn't a sitting target back there, and be able to manage the health of him throughout the game, and just make sure we got a better feel for how he was doing and whatnot. So good job with the run game.
Yeah. Obviously last weekend, another record in the record book for Jack Strand is something that I had talked to him earlier today, and it was obviously something he can kind of get that monkey off his back a little bit. All-time passing touchdown leader. It's nice to have the records. Obviously, you guys want more wins than records, but do you think, as a coach, a player like in Jack's position, when you have a record that means a lot to a lot of people, do you think maybe they press a little bit, or do you think that's not anything you worry about? Is it something, once it's done, you can kind of just feel a little bit freer?
Well, I think there's certainly records, milestones do weigh on people's minds and shoulders, and probably affects them too a little bit in the course of a game and playing. Jack is a unique individual, very special. I think he takes a lot of those things in stride. I think he's aware of them, but I really don't think that it affects how he plays. He's not playing for those things. He's playing for the teammates. He's playing for this season. He's playing to be the best that he can be each and every snap. And so he's doing a really good job of being in the moment. And there is a lot of buzz around him and noise and pressure. And so he's, over the course of his career, he's done a really good job of handling that. He's continuing to get better, and I think that's the poise you see out there, and you're going to continue to see him to do a great job handling the noise, the media, whatever the attention that goes along with being a really good football player in our conference.
All right, we just passed the midway point of this season. Obviously, you and myself and everybody included would have loved to see this team at 3-3, 4-2, something like that after the first season. Very tough first half of the season. But of those 2 wins, you had to play 3 ranked teams. You got 2 out of 3 wins against ranked teams. So when you look back at that first half of the season, can you tell us a little bit about what your thoughts are, some of the positives coming away from that first half of the season?
Well, we haven't been a ranked team in I don't know how many years, 20 years maybe. It's been a long time since we've been a ranked team. And so exciting that we're able to do that, not just once, but do it twice. And so I think the exciting thing for Dragon fans is that we've shown we are capable of now winning games at a high level. And it was more than one, and so maybe it wasn't just a fluke. You're like, okay, this can be done. Now, what we have to do to be able to say that, to take the next step of, okay, not just beat ranked teams, let's be a ranked team.
Right.
Well, to be a ranked team, then we're going to have to consistently win week in and week out, maybe when we're not healthy, maybe when we're beat up, maybe when we're on the road, maybe when we don't have ideal conditions, whatever it might be. So for us to get into the conversation about being a ranked team, then we've got to take care of the other business, which if you look at how the first part of the season went, we need to grow in that area. And so right now we're 2 up and down. We've got great highs. We've shown that we can do this.
Yeah.
Now we got to raise the floor.
Right.
And if we can do that, I think we've got the makings to be a really good football team for the rest of the year and a really good football program moving forward.
When we look at the Winona weekend, kind of, there was a number of people that, players, yourself, I think potentially included, that kind of felt like the energy was down a little bit going into that game. Obviously, the energy is up for homecoming weekend. You got the home fans, et cetera. How do you manufacture that energy on the road, especially now that you're going down to St. Paul, playing a team kind of in the same spot in the conference you and Concordia-St. Paul? How do you manufacture that energy to start things off and kind of get things rolling downhill for you guys?
Well, definitely got to be aggressive, right? And it's 2 teams with the same record, 2 teams that have very ups, very downs through the course of the season, playing in a place where they haven't played at home for a while, so they're going to be excited. There's going to be energy on the other side. That's the thing where we've got to be able to generate it. And you do that. I think guys are focused. They're determined to win. It's helpful if you can get off to a good start and start making plays. And in Winona, we didn't. I think they had 17 plays by the time we had 3 or 4 and had flipped the scoreboard on us real quick. And so if you can make plays, it's easy to get excited. If we're not making plays, it's hard. And so then that's a real challenge. And so, the easy answer is let's go out, let's make plays, let's get a great stop defensively, let's move the football, get some first downs offensively, make a splash play on special teams, start things off. And you got energy going. You don't do those things, really, really tough on the road. And so hopefully we're not in that situation. If we are, we're going to have to find a way to get out of it. Okay.
So when it goes down to St. Paul this week and you're playing the Golden Bears, tell us a little bit about that team and what you guys have to do to come out successful at the end of that game.
Well, the thing that's concerning as a head coach is they've got a team that I think is very similar to Winona in the build of really, really good running back, strong, powerful. He can get extra yards after contact and a really good offensive line. And so the recipe in Winona was, hey, run the football, control the clock, keep it moving, keep the Dragon offense off the field. Hey, this is the same way that it could play out on the road again. And so we've got to make sure that we're able to hold up defensively. We have to make sure offensively we can get a first down and move the chains and get some sort of rhythm going. And so I think life keeps giving you the same lessons until you can master them.
Right.
Okay, well, this is kind of a redo maybe of what we were looking at a couple weeks ago. And so we've got to learn that lesson. Come out, play better football right from the get-go, capture that energy, and then hopefully move forward from there.
All right. Well, it sounds interesting. Obviously, it's going to be a great weekend of Dragon football. James and I will be there for all the coverage on Saturday, so best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. This is Jace Denman alongside MSUM Dragon football head coach Steve Laqua. We'll talk to you soon.